Bookkeepers, it's Trudy at Maven. When a client pushes you, meaning pushes your boundaries, you don't need a speech. You just need 5 clean lines. And you can actually use these verbatim. Just make sure you follow them with a process. Here are the 5 lines. Line number 1. Here's what I can do and by when. This reframes the question into a clear offer. For example, I can deliver the bank rec by Friday at noon. Now, why does that matter? Because vague promises invite scope creep. If you say, I'll get to it soon, the client may assume more is included or a faster delivery is actually implied. A clear line like this sets reality up front and avoids messy assumptions. Line 2, that's outside our current scope, but I can send an estimate. This keeps you out of free work. For example, you can say, payroll cleanup is not in our monthly plan. I'll price it out and send it over. Here's the trap. Scope creep rarely starts with something huge. It usually is a little, can you just this or can you just that? And those 3 words can derail your practice. A small just for one client and then another and then another, and suddenly your week has disappeared. Scope creep destroys schedules, wrecks profitability, and breeds resentment. Clear, candid language, on the other hand, protects not only you, but the client relationship. Line number 3, I cannot start until I have the documents. This is a, you need to take action and then we can do the work statement. For example, I need bank feed access and July statements in order to proceed. Now, many clients think you can work magic without materials, but bookkeeping, just like construction, depends on raw materials and raw input. No bank access, no receipts, no progress. Being firm here builds credibility. You're not the frantic yes person, you're the professional running a process. Line 4, I do my best work inside the process, and here's the step we're on. This replaces that debate with the next action. For example, the next step is coding the credit card transactions. Please upload the receipts by Wednesday. This does 2 things. First, it protects you from firefighting mode. And secondly, it reassures the client that you have a system. Clients hire you for order, not chaos. Telling them, here's the step we're on, is like turning on a light in the dark room. It makes them feel safe. And lastly, line number 5, if you need it sooner, here are the options. Options show trade-offs of time, scope, and price. For example, I can rush it by tomorrow with a $200 expedite fee, or I can keep the Friday delivery at the current price. Most frustrations between clients and providers come from unspoken trade-offs. They think speed, scope, and price can all stay fixed. They can't. Offering clear options respects their decision-making power and prevents you from being the villain when limits appear. So, a quick recap of our 5 lines. What we can do. Well, that's outside the scope. We need you to meet the process before we can do the work. Here's where we are in the process, and here are your options. These are short lines that set very strong boundaries. Every boundary incursion lives in one corner of a triangle, and that triangle is made of time, scope, and money. When one of them moves, at least one of the others has to move as well. Say if we expand scope, we have to move time or price. Scope creep is like gravity. If you don't name it, it's going to pull everything down. Clients may not even realize they're asking for extra, so by pointing out the triangle, you shift the conversation from conflict to clarity. It's not personal, it's physics. Look, communications equals credibility. Here's the overarching issue. Communication is one of the top reasons people leave their service providers. In every industry, landscaping, tech support, bookkeeping. The number 1 complaint isn't usually price. It's not knowing what's going on. When you're candid and specific, clients trust you more, not less. They don't always speak your bookkeeping language, so you've got to elaborate it for them. Spell it out. This is in scope, this is out. Here's what happens next. That's how you keep them calm, loyal, and referring. And what about when a hard no is the right answer? Say this when you need to. I am not able to meet that request. Here's what I can do. If that doesn't work, I can refer you to another provider. A clean no is kinder than a messy yes. Clients respect the pro who sets limits more than the pushover who says yes and then disappoints them. Remember, it's about meeting or better yet, exceeding expectations. So grab the boundaries line card that's down below in the description, print it out, keep it near your screen, then use the 5 comments this week and let us know how they worked for you. You'll feel the difference, and we'll see you next time.